1986 Ford Bronco. How about that? Bought it when I was 16 years old. Had a side job, going to high school. Drove all the way to LA with my neighbor to pick it up from my uncle, whom I bought it from. So I've had it since I was 16. I'm in my 30s now. There's my son. And, well, it's time for a rebuild. I partied in it pretty hard. I beat it pretty hard. I mudded it. I jumped it at some point. I drifted it. Had a bunch of people on the hood and roof partying. Took it to bonfire. We had a lot of fun in it growing up. But, you know, it's time for a rebuild. So I'm doing a full frame-off restoration pretty much. But it's not going to be a show quality. It's a budget rebuild quality. As you can see, we swapped out the whole front clip, including the doors, because they were trash. They didn't look bad, but they were trash. They were cracked, broken, especially where all the screws and bolts went to. So we swapped all of that out. Here you can see same thing with the interior. Trash. The seats were broken. The bolts were broken. The door panels were just sun-dry rotted. You can make a hole if you pushed hard enough. It was gone. But in this video, it's silence. But you can pretty much tell I was complaining, bitching how everything was getting swapped and replaced. And it did. And it is. It's still ongoing. But everything's black. Everything inside is going to be black. Look at this. You can push on the window. And it would come out. Yeah, there was a lot of water getting into the carpet, all over the floor. You can see it dripping across the top rail. It was trash. It all had to go. But it's been a long process. It's been 2 years since I started. I'm not done yet. Obviously, you know, money's an issue nowadays. But it's going good. I'm super excited. I cannot wait till this thing is done. It's going to be one badass Overland build. I already have some methods that are going to go on it. I'm going to have a rooftop tent going on it, some recovery boards, the whole Overland package, as you would say, quotation marks. But you know what? I need it. Me and my wife are going out and I'm by myself. I need some type of recovery, a winch, boards, but we'll get there. Gonna have a nice head unit. I'm going to try to make a double din so I can get my Onyx off-road to be on there with my apps and all of that. If not, I can do it separate. It's no big deal. The less components on my dash, the better. But anyways, see, look how messed up this dash is. Everything, all the panels, it's all getting redone in black. And I'm doing all of this myself because I'm on a budget. I can't just take it to a shop and be like, here you go, fix it. I want it back completely restored new. Whew, that would be about 40, 50,000. I don't have nowhere near close to that. So, you know what? A little bit of YouTube and a little bit of elbow grease. Get to it myself. But, man, these hinges right here, they're gone. They're trash. Look at this. The door doesn't even line up. The door's straight, no dents, but the hinges are trash. So that'll all get replaced. And I'm going to have to get the whole front body clip realigned again. So here I started ripping out the carpet, and for some reason there's about 50,000 stereo wires for amplifiers, subwoofers, also. Oh man, look at that. I yanked all of that out and only left what I knew needed to be in there. So I ripped it all out, all of it. And it's not too bad under there. I thought there would have been a lot more rust because we did take it through a lot of water growing up, but there wasn't that much. These seats don't look too bad, but when you get up close or you feel them and sit down, they're ripped. The springs on them suck. They're blown out. The bolts that recline back and forth, they're broken. It doesn't recline at all. Neither of them do. They were trash. And here's the rear. The rear is not too bad. It looks worse than it is because that's just a pad with surface rust on the pad. And here you can see the primers and the vinyl paint that I used. Look at that. That was all the original pieces that were in there. I just pulled them out, reupholstered them, retextured, and repainted. All by myself from watching YouTube tutorial videos. Because like I said, I could not afford to get this thing redone at a shop by itself. Oh yeah, remember these cigarette ashtrays from the 80s and 70s that were in the back of cars? Well, nobody smokes, so we ended up switching and modifying them a little bit to USB port chargers. You know, just in case the kids are in the back seat or somebody's in the back and needs to charge up something. But after ripping everything out, we had to degrease it. I sprayed the crap out of it with Simple Green, scrubbed it. Well, it's time to rinse. And it wasn't too bad. Let it dry. And then we ended up spraying it with some primer just to keep the surface rust away. And we gave it, you know, we were a little bit on the heavy side with the primer. Just a little bit extra never hurt, you know. But here I'm gonna show you guys real quick, all dried up, to see what the rust looked like. So this is what it looked like, pretty much dry, all surface rust. Nothing too crazy, but you know, we just started primering right after that. And it looked pretty good, it wasn't too bad. So, and I remembered how loud it was inside, so I told myself, I have to put some type of sound deadener. Some type. And I did. I put it inside the doors, outside the doors, on the floor, the rear, the front, all the way up the firewall, my pillars, inside my headliner, everywhere. All over the back, inside the panels, everywhere. It needed it. And this is just a little quick clip of how I did my headliner. And again, I've never done this in my life. I learned how to do this through the YouTube tutorial videos. Super simple. Just didn't know where to start till I watched the YouTube videos. And it came out real nice. Check this out. Yeah, real easy, a lot easier than I thought. The headliner wasn't too expensive, so if I messed it up, I wasn't too worried about it. But it came out pretty good. Just follow the instructions, and it wasn't that big of a deal. There's a little bit more sound deadening. I did everything. And the carpet, of course, we had to put carpet padding underneath it. I doubled it in some spots just because I knew it's a little bit louder in some spots than others. Like where the motor is, the transmission, and all of that. Then we decided to just throw the carpet on top. We left it out in the sun to get a little bit floppy and loose and be easier to fit in there. Then once it was in there, we just cut the excess off, and voila. It wasn't too bad getting it in there. But it came out real good. Check that out. All the panels are back in. The carpet's back in. All of it. So it went from red to black. Huge transformation in color. But again, I wish I would have kept the red and I could find all brand new red, because I love the 80s look. Awesome. I loved it. But I'm not mad. This came out beautiful. And this is all my backyard. New to me steering column. Not new, just from a different vehicle. But it worked. Man, I cannot wait till this is done. So here it was time to pull the motor out. We pulled the motor out. It ran barely, but it knocked louder than the police at your door thinking you robbed a bank. It was knocking loud. So the motor got completely rebuilt, the block and the heads. And I decided, you know, I'm going to try to throw on a 3-core aluminum radiator with dual electric fans. You know, it'll save me 1 horsepower, you know, give me that little bit more of that gas mileage as well. You know, 1980s, 6 miles to the gallon, baby. Just kidding, but it's close. You know, I got a new upper and lower intake manifold, a new 56 millimeter BBK throttle body, which is a little bit bigger, a little bit more airflow, a little bit more horsepower, save on gas. Got a new oil pan. The old one was trash. My head valve covers. and some shorty headers for that low end torque for when we're overlanding. So I'm hoping this all, gets put together and it works. I'm hoping. We're going to find out. Now the motor, I did pay to get that done. But if I could do it, I would have done it myself. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching. This is my part 1 of the rebuild. I'll do a way better job on the second part, I promise. I just didn't realize I was going to do it like this. But anyways, yeah, this is from when I used to own it back in the day. Look at all the stuff I used to do. We just beat it all the time. That's all we did. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you guys stick around for the next video on part 2.